Hello, beautiful Pisces, and welcome back to your extended for July 12th. If you haven't seen this morning's reading, I would suggest that you see that one first. This one will make a lot more sense in this case. If it's your first time here, welcome. I appreciate you being here. Now, I know that my readings sometimes go for bigger than the collective, for the world around you, and I feel that those messages are directly sent to you. And you may say, Pisces, why me? Why Pisces? Why us? Because we are light workers of some sort, and because we are the 12th sign of the zodiac. Okay, we have a little bit of all the signs. We have the wisdom. We're the last. Okay, we come with everything. It's like, you know, when you keep making, you start doing something, but then by the last one you have perfection. We are, and I know some other signs may laugh at that, but really, we do. We have a lot of heart in us, and everybody knows that love is one of the highest vibrations to get in touch with spirituality. So we have a lot of that. We have a lot of wisdom within us, even though we get told that we may be, you know, oversensitive about a lot of things, and some of us are. We can work on that balance, okay? But we absolutely cannot go forward without the love and understanding in our heart, okay? So why these messages of all these big changes and these dreams passed on to you? Because you know what to do with it. You know how to take these symbols and interpret them and hold them in your heart, in your mind, in your 3 different chakras, align them, and then use them in your everyday life to help the world move forward, okay? So that was the message there. All right, Pisces. If you're interested in any other way to support me other than clicking on that subscribe button and that notification bell, it's all in the description box below. I also have affiliate links to all the cards that I use. I try to use, I don't try, I look for links that are very specific to the creator so that they get all the help for, well, their creations, because there's a lot of scammers out there for cards, and so it's very important that you click on links that support the creators, and they've offered us some really wonderful tools to work with, so I appreciate it. And if you do use those affiliate links, it actually helps us as well. I have the Earth card that came out, and that's number 8. Number 8 for me represents some really good type of work, okay? 7, assessment. 8 is always like working really hard at things, and I like that. I'm going to read from the book. I always do. I love this Mystical Shaman. It's very deep. It goes very deep, and it's very fitting today to have this as one of the cards come out for today's reading, because it was a very deep reading. Okay, so this represents, of course, the gift of life. Earth is always there. The symbol of this card refers to the body of the planet Earth, the human body, and nature herself. We're reminded by this symbol that all creatures are born of the earth, and human beings are the stewards of all life on this planet. It refers to what we make of it. Our health, wealth, security, grounding, solidity, and stability. It reminds us that the world of form is a gift from spirit, needs to be treated with respect. Right. Okay, it says when this appears, it represents a need to focus on reverence and appreciation for the natural gifts that are coming to you now and always. The concrete world you inhabit is there by the grace of spirit, and you are part of it. Much can be accomplished now when you focus on compassion, reverent service to the world. That's what I was talking about, okay? Why you, Pisces? Because you are able to take these messages and send them out in the very best way in the world, okay? If you act with integrity, gratitude, and humility, you will find yourself more prosperous than you can imagine. Absolutely, okay? In other words, not too full of yourself. Just enough. Just enough to be confident in yourself, but not enough to be a pompous ass. I know it's kind of weird to say it that way, but there's too many of those to begin with, okay? Success is assured when the earth appears as an invitation. And it did. It came up as an invitation. Okay? So they say if you're feeling on the other side, if it had come out upside down, and I will read it for you, okay? Because some of you may feel the reverse of this. And it says, if you're thrown off your path lately, it's time to focus on what nurtures you, to open yourself to the healing of Mother Earth and see the abundant world around you. Perhaps you have lost the ability to trust that your needs will be met and have fallen prey to poverty consciousness, right? Sometimes we fall into the lack consciousness, you know, why me, why don't I, blah, blah, blah. Perhaps you have not been eating well, being overworked or stressed, and forgotten to breathe in the beauty of your surroundings. That happens too. When the Spirit of Earth comes as your medicine, you're being reminded that when you practice self-care, take a walk in nature, and focus on the consciousness of abundance, miracles can and do happen. Yeah. All these messages that come through as well, Pisces, it's to remind you not to just focus on the problem, but really focus on the solution. Okay? This came through with me for this, especially for the dream. I could in this dream always focus on I can't get out, these stairs are too rickety, but I was always looking for a solution in the dream, always looking to find a way out, to bring people to safety, to help them out. And then when I saw the fundraisers, I thought, we can do better this time, okay? And we can even have people help who think they're getting the same thing, but we'll give them better, okay? Because sometimes there are people who just refuse to see. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is, okay? I'm going to take a chakra card because I like these, and I don't use them as much anymore, and I'm going to because, like I said, this reading wants profound, okay? Right, some people were talking about complacency, and again, with the red of the root chakra, okay? Some people, as I said in the dream, they just want the same thing over and over again, okay? They get stagnant because they keep repeating the same patterns over and over again. And you can't do that, Pisces. You need to move forward. The world needs to change, especially when there needs to be change. You don't need to change everything, but a lot of people complain, why does everything need to change? Because there's a lot of things that are not really balanced. A lot of things. We are creatures of extremes. We have to face that fact. It feels good to be an extreme. Sometimes that high of the extreme is really good, but it's when it's coming back down, it's not so good, okay? When you stop to think about it. So simplicity really, really helps in this case. Okay, so I was pulled before we ended the reading this morning to get one of these. So I'm going to take I am going to take one of these. Then I'm going to pull some more tarot. I'm going to see where we can go with this. What else they would like to add. I know a lot of you really like a shoe. My earth nature spirit, older than the planet. So if you would like to have him back by Saturday, let me know. I will do a reading with him. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that Spirit is guiding you always. So as I talk about, you need to move forward in heart space, right? As Pisces, you have that heart space already available to you. In this morning's reading, we had suffering in silence, and this is anxiety, and this is heartache and loss, okay? Some people will always focus on this. What's been lost? What have we lost during this time where the world paused, okay? It didn't stop, it just paused. And you know, it's not the worst thing that ever happened to us. I know a lot of people died, especially some older folks, okay? So there was a lot of shifts in families this time around. But the thing is that if you look at different times or different events that happened historically, ours was not the most devastating. There was more devastating things that happened in the past, you know, in the wars. Very, very nasty stuff that really would have been hard on your morals, on your mind, on your body, on your heart, on your soul. Okay? These moments happen so that we can really look at life in a really a deeper way, a bigger way, and make greater shifts. Okay? So yeah, this is saying make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life, okay? Anxiety doesn't really help you. It helps you for a certain amount of time if you need to get yourself out of a situation, like out of a falling building, okay? You need that level of, that, what's that word? Adrenaline, thank you, to move you out of that situation. So it's a kind of an anxiety type reaction, but beyond that, you don't need to live in anxiety all the time. It's just something that's, you need to find something to put your energy into that's better. Give yourself a focus, okay? Something different. I find that focusing on helping others is usually the best way to move out of that type of energy. Always, always. Okay? So give your worries up. Give them away. Let them disappear. Like that. Okay, so the Hangman upside down, I don't usually do like reversals, but every once in a while, especially with the Hangman, he likes to come out this way. And I find that when I really notice it is when it's saying that this is a time for you to get out of limbo, okay? Get out of that Hangman. We have been doing a lot of looking into, delving deeper, trying to figure out things in the last months, maybe last year, okay? The world is clicking back on again. So a lot of people are going to be wanting to do the exact same thing they were. I mean, I was out doing grocery shopping this weekend and saw people being the same inconsiderate jerks that they were before all of this started. So it's very easy to go back to that, okay? So the time of limbo is over, okay? It's time to start moving. I'm going to leave it this way, okay? It's time to start moving in a forward pace. I don't know, start making the changes that you see, okay? Speak up. Remember, throat chakra. And it's funny because this week, it was all about the throat chakra, but the three that came out were solar, power, and your crown. So it's all working together to make things happen. Right. So, time for a bright new idea. Always. Okay, to get us out of this complacency. Okay, time to think outside the box. Time to think in a better way. Time to think in a less conventional, more brilliant, you know, new ideas. Let's stop rehashing the same old stuff. Let's stop making remakes of movies. Let's come up with something new. Okay. New and passion, okay? And again, you see the Two of Swords, it's upside down, and I usually don't notice these things, but now I'm feeling the same as this. Okay, time to remove the blocks, okay? It's time now. It's time to like kick the gear into passion, from Page of Cups to the Knight of Cups, you know? Give it a little boost. Give it a little bit of passion, okay? Set it in motion, a little bit of heart. To put your heart on your sleeve, to let them have tears, to make them see that things are not perfect, you know? Instead of going, this is wrong and we're going to battle it, to say, isn't this sad? Doesn't your heart ache over this, okay? The softer side of who they are. Because in love, in wanting to help, in feeling compassion, is where you start vibing higher. You start, okay? Compassion leads to love. Love leads to passion. And passion leads to action. So, right. It's time to remove the illusions that we've been living with, okay? So this is you just being very authentic, okay? You don't need to go out there and change the world, is what Spirit's saying. You don't need to go out there and go, okay, I've got to have a major plan to change the entire planet. No, just change the environment around you, okay? When people say the same old stuff, that makes you pause, and they say you'll know. Because if you're going back out there, or you're talking to people again, and they say this stuff, and you're triggered in yourself to say, wow, nothing has changed, that is your indication. That's your indication that you need to speak up in that particular place, okay, in that time. Keep it simple. Don't attack. Use the heart, okay? Use the heart to point out the sad affair, okay? The sad moment, the moment that is not resonating with happiness and the very best that this planet can give, okay? Yeah, it's going to be slow. Okay, that's what they're saying. It's going to be slow. It's going to be slow. You can build Rome in a day. You can't rebuild something in a day. You have to start with one thing at a time. Okay, and you have to assess. There's very much a 7. Very much the 7 here. This assessing this crown chakra. Okay, but you have 6, 7, 8. I see them here. 5, 6, 7, 8. Sounds like a dance move. Practice. Right. This is what they're doing. 5, 6, 7, 8. You hear that all the time, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. And okay, we're going to do it again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Practice. Right. Practice. Practice so it makes perfect and also builds new habits, new ways of doing things. So just keep that in mind, okay? It's not going to happen overnight, and you can't expect things to be changed overnight. It just won't happen, okay? But you can work on it. You can work on it in every little bit. Don't think that any little progress is no progress. Trust me, it's big progress. It's big progress. Some people may not change 100%, but you may change them enough that, you know, that fundraiser, it may end up building things that they weren't expecting, but it'll still be there, right? And in the end, they'll just go, well, maybe it was for the best, okay? Right. So you're going to drive everything in that direction, driving everything towards that goal, okay? Making it go slowly, turning into those directions of a more balance. No pendulum, you know, no too much on one side or the other, okay? People are afraid to talk with their heart. People are afraid to feel the pain. But that is definitely what we need to transition. Okay? Do you ever see that when people are talking about a story, it's easy to be mad and to stand on your soapbox and go, this is an injustice. And the others, it's easy for them to walk away, put their hands in the sand. But if somebody talks about how sad it is, suddenly you're clearing the room. The room gets very quiet. And then people go and sit and get quiet. Why do they get quiet? Either because they don't want to feel it. They don't want to deal with it. It's easier to be mad about it than to actually think about it with the heart. But the heart is the key. It's the middle ground, okay? It's that middle between the pendulum that swings. And right now, Pisces, okay, for this world to be this place, a better place, and you guys are going to correct me, of course. You know, I feel so uneducated when I do, but it is a pendulum. It is a pendulum. Those little beaded, that's a pendulum, right? You also have one that's like, it's called the scale, I think. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Whatever swings back and forth. You ever seen those? They go punk, and they hit the one in the middle, and then the middle sends the other one to the other end. And then that one sends that one to the other end. And then that one. It's one of those click, 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 click. I don't know if you've ever seen those. I know there's probably a propeller. Is it a pendulum? Probably. Okay. The point that I'm making here, just so that you get a mental image of this, is that this one's always swinging, and this one's always swinging. But the one in the middle is always right in the middle. And without it, this pendulum wouldn't keep going back and forth, okay? It is the balance in between the two, right? And that's what they're showing me. That one in the middle, okay, takes the force from one side, the brunt of the hit, and then sends it to the other side, and then the other side hits it, okay? But if they stop doing this, then they'll all be equal in the middle. They'll make a nice picture instead of always swinging to one side. And yes, it's a constant thing. And yes, we can expect that will always be. There'll always be some kind of pendulum swinging one side to the other. Like I said, we're here to experience contrast in our life. But the magic is in the middle, is what they're showing me. The magic is in the middle. That one that stays there, that takes the brunt of everything, that helps the momentum of the others. Okay, it's the middle one that is the key. Always has been. The others look all pretty and magical because they're swinging back and forth all the time, and that one doesn't do much other than being in the middle, but it is the magic. It is the glue that holds everything together, although there's, thank God there's no glue, the pendulum wouldn't be working anymore. So right, this is the new way of thinking. This is what they keep trying to get the light workers to be talking about, this internal balance, and this is what they're saying. This is this new idea, this new old idea that's existent forever. Keeping that balanced middle ground, okay? So it's really simple in the way it comes through. It's simplicity. It's equal, it's balanced. But for some reason we're missing the point. I guess it's more fun to be in extremes. But these extremes are really not doing anything, and it's causing a lot of pain. So we need to move on from this, okay? We need to transition. Some of us are going to transition to it a lot faster than others. But that is the way it is. That's the way it's going to be. You're going to lead a lot of cool minds as well. A soft heart. A tender, not a soft heart, a tender heart. But a very, with a lot of strength of character. Because some people will call you sentimental. They'll call you sensitive. And there's a difference between sensitivity and drama queen. So let's just be clear about that. But some people will call you sensitive. And some people will even say that you are, you know, by not being on their side with the swords and the you know, the hashtags and the things, that you are not really seeing things as they are, but you are. You're probably seeing things clearer than a lot of people do. Okay? So, yeah, that's the message from Spirit. I know it's, to me, it's repetitive, but again, it's been spoken in a different way. They're trying to apply it to your everyday in ways that you will see it as another example of a day-to-day life and how it will apply in the coming days, weeks, years, months, years that are ahead. Yeah, the word I was looking for is, some people will think you're just a pacifist. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with seeing the hurt, the heartache, the pain, the problem, but trying to find a solution that is in a more balanced format than the one that's being. And I know sometimes you have to go after people. You have to not go after people, but you have to go after the you know, the fighter, the hero, the things that they show you in the movie. But the thing about movies and books and stuff, there's a beginning and an end, and life usually continues. Or there's something before the book starts, and there's something after the book ends, or the movie ends, that they're not showing you. There are things that come full circle. Sometimes you feel like you have fixed something, but there's something much bigger, a much bigger problem at hand. You have the hero coming in and getting justice for somebody, but then later on, if you look at the world through a different lens, you see that there's a lot more criminals and a lot of things that have no justice in them, okay? So you have to put it in perspective. It would take too long for me to explain what they're showing, but they're showing to me in current day events how, you know, we've gone after the person. I was watching, was it The Untouchables, where they were putting Al Capone in jail for tax evasion, and at the end the heroes won, and blah, blah, and all this. And then on the flip side, you look at 2008 when the banks and corporations were they were doing criminal activities. There's nothing you can, you know, anybody who looks at it knows that this is what was happening, and it shifted the world in a major way. This, in some cases, was a major event, such as like the pandemic was. It opened people's eyes. But if you see at the scale of the criminal activity there compared to the movie The Untouchables of like, a Chicago department going after, a mob. It's very much, it's not, the movie makes you feel good, but there's something much bigger that happened after. And that's what I'm saying, that even though this got on a soapbox and somebody fought and won, sometimes they may have won the battle, but there was a huge war going on that nobody won. So that's all I'm trying to say. There's a lot here, okay? And we need to find different ways of dealing with. It's nice to be the hero, but ultimately, sometimes there's a lot more on the table involved than what we like to see, okay? The sense of justice that we feel is sometimes really not that justified. Okay, it's kind of weird to say that, but it is, okay? If you can get justice, absolutely. But sometimes the picture is a lot bigger than we think, okay? And then that means there's something wrong at the root of that. In other words, the people who did all of these injustices let greed root their lives and basically cared for no one but themselves. This is a very big problem. That is a very rooted big problem, okay? When we don't no longer care for each other, this is a bigger problem than you're wrong and I'm right, okay? Right, so I still got that across. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. I'm sending you lots of blessings and love and light and everything, Pisces. I know this one was kind of deep on a Monday especially, but it happens. And I hope that you're getting a lot from it. Take care of yourself. Yeah, I will see you tomorrow, as always, twice a day. If there's anything there, the videos on my playlist, they're timeless, so you can watch them anytime. And the best way you can support this channel is by watching more videos off of this channel. So if there's an old favorite that you'd like to see again, go ahead and do that now. It just helps all around, okay? The ads pay for my bills, and that's why there's so many. And I appreciate all of you who can put up with that. Thank you so much. I will put you in my thoughts. Please take care, stay safe, stay well. We still live in a nutty, nutty world. Take care now.